All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I am grateful at this moment that we all have been able to come together to commemorate the International Day of Older Persons, which I tend to be the elderly persons in my own terminologies. So this is a very important discussion that we are going to have today. It's going to be very impactful because of the fact that we need the elderly ones in our midst. And of course, this particular commemoration is supposed to have been done on 1st of October, which is the exact day the United Nations marked out for this day to be celebrated. But we are doing it today, being 4th of October, in commemoration of that same day as well, which was first announced or adopted in 1990, 1st October 1990, but then was celebrated in 1991. So the idea behind this celebration today is the fact that I have been able to experience some kind of elderly life. I've experienced some people, old people around me who have really impacted in my well-being. Everything I am today is as a result of those who have really come close to me. I was trained by my grandma. My grandmom trained me. So my dad died when I was 2 years. So I was taken away from my parent, my mom, and was taken to my grandma. So I am so much passionate about the elderly ones. They are very compassionate. They are very lovely. They are very kind. So it actually got to me somehow. So I got that thread from her. So I so much love staying around people, trying to hear their stories. They are long stories, so they tell stories a lot, and each time they're telling the stories, I always pay attention to learn a lot from them. So that is actually one of the things that propelled us to come up with this very section today, which is titled Bridging the Gap, Intergenerational Collaboration for a Sustainable Future. So our elderly ones are very important. Those that have gone through the paths that we are towing, we don't need to waste so much time, years of experiences that they went through. So it's high time they talk to us, they share their experiences with us, mentor us as well. So that, and also, most importantly, want to celebrate them. They are lovely, they are kind, they are amazing. I love you all. I love you all for coming to join us, celebrating ourselves. We need you all, and we need you healthy, and we need you alive. Thank you so much. So I want to start by welcoming our guest speaker, Carol Witt. She's our guest speaker. You're going to take us on the importance of intergenerational collaboration in achieving sustainable development. Thank you so much. I welcome everybody once again.
Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Carol Witt, and I am the founder and director for YEA Global. We just went into 76 countries. That's how many countries we serve. And we teach mindset. It's the biggest deal. And guys, I'm the perfect one to be talking about bridging the gap because I just turned 71 in July. And I have many more years, hopefully, to be bridging this gap. So I'm very excited about talking to everyone about this subject. It is near and dear to my heart. So I want to just share with you my short story of collaboration across generation. It matters in my own journey. So guys, a true legacy lives on only when it's passed to the next generation. And I'm building a movement of young YEA directors around the world to ensure that YEA's future lives on. Our declaration, guys, is we all deserve to thrive. It's not just for today, it's for generations to come. Together, we'll carry this torch forward and create a future where thriving is a standard, not an exception. Let's do it together. So guys, I want to ask the question, what future are we building? And who do we need to build it with? So sustainable development isn't only about economics, but also mindset and relationships. Today, many communities face a gap between youth and elders. Youth equals energy and innovation and urgency. And guys, elders, wisdom, lived experiences, long-term perspective. So Africa has the world's youngest population and some of the oldest wisdom traditions. That's like an untapped treasure when you unite them. So, guys, there's 3 pillars of intergenerational collaboration, and I want to speak on those. Listening and respect. True collaboration starts with respect. Youth bring dignity, fluency, adaptability, and creativity. I love their brains. I love their beautiful minds. Let's tap into them. Elders bring strategy and cultural depth and resilience. The mindset shift, guys, though, is from competition to complement. Let's take competition out of our conversation. We're not competing. We're completing and complementing one another. So a shared responsibility, guys. Sustainable development requires everyone owning this vision. Everyone. Youth, young people. I teach 12-year-olds mindset, guys, all the way up to 84-year-olds. Youth are not leaders of tomorrow. And we used to always say that. You'd always hear that. I used to speak it. They're leaders for today, right now. Right now, tap in, help them rise as leaders right now. Youth are not leaders for tomorrow. They're leaders for today, and elders are not past leaders. They're guides and anchors. Allow us to work with you as youth and move us forward. And you will move us forward. You will help unlock some of the things that we have believed in that are no longer applicable. You will help us unlock these mindsets that we've lived with for years and years and years. And they're no longer applicable in this world today. And the youth bring that, bring their imagination, bring their energy, bring their new thoughts, new ways of doing things. And we need to embrace it as elders. All right. So guys, collaboration means shared projects, mentorship, and reverse mentorship. So I want to share something with you. Partnerships thrive in practice, community gardens, business incubators, education, and that's what I'm all about, educating, green initiatives, and tech solutions. Oh, let's embrace those tech solutions, guys. They will take us further and faster. Highlight youth, guys. Elder teams solving problems together, real case studies out there. And I have one I want to share with you that will light you up and really have you get the power of elders and youth together. So I teach from real stories, and a 74-year-old, a grandmother from the UK, she joined YEA Global, and guys, she was unsure of her place. She really didn't know where she fit in. She didn't think she had anything more to offer. 74. She began her journey believing she had nothing to offer and that her time to make a difference had already passed. But through YEA and that mindset shift, she discovered something powerful, guys. With this new belief, she stepped forward. She gathered a team of young people, much younger than her, and together they turned vision into action. Their first project, a borehole in Lake Victoria. What began as an idea in her head became life-changing and a reality. Today, over 20,000 families have access to clean water because of her courage, her shift in her mindset, and her actions, and collaborating with young people to make it happen. You really want to get the power when we collaborate, when we come together, when we shift our mindsets. Okay? So, guys, mindset for thriving collaboration. Mindset shapes how we approach collaboration. And I really want you to take a look at that. Mindset really and truly shifts how we embrace collaboration. There's three mindsets: abundance mindset. There's enough wisdom, enough opportunity, and enough space for all voices. Then there's a growth mindset. Challenges are invitations to grow, not reasons to give up. And then there's a thriving mindset, which is what I am all about in YEA. We all deserve to thrive. Collaboration creates thriving communities. So that's the mindset I am teaching and working with inside of my youth and inside of my elders and my older people. When you face a challenge in working across generations, do you see a barrier or a bridge? You want to ask yourself that. Do you see a barrier or do you see a bridge? So guys, imagine youth and elders standing together, solving Africa's challenges in energy, food, health, and education. Imagine it. Imagine that world for Africa, for everywhere. We're starting in Africa. We'll bring it to the US, but we are starting in Africa, okay? Guys, youth, seek mentorship. Share your voice boldly. That's what youth are up to. They seek mentorship, and we want to hear your voices. Share them boldly so we hear. Elders, we open doors, we share wisdom, and we let youth lead. We rise leaders in our youth. We've had our time. Now let's raise those leaders to take charge and move forward in powerful, powerful ways of changing Africa, changing the world. So my final thing is that this, guys, we are not in competition across generations. We are co-creators of a thriving Africa, of a thriving world. And I want to just have you think about this. Imagine a world where every person believes they are capable, worthy, and powerful. That's the future we are building in YEA. Let's make it happen together. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share all of my thoughts around bridging the gap. Thank you. I love that. Yeah, beautiful. Bridging the gap. Ferdinand, are you there? You're muted. Let me give you a prompt to unmute. There you go. I'm not getting him, guys. Hold on one second. Okay. Ferdinand, are you there?
Man, he's not there right now, but I just want to thank you for your contribution to this meeting. It was awesome. I love your energy and your desire to help. You know, we are doing some big things within Africa, but we're also going global simultaneously.
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to do some great things to help others in need through education.
Yes.
We need big projects though, and that's what we're working on. So making big impact. But I did appreciate your contribution to today's meeting, and I love our family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I think we're just going to bring on the next guest speaker because I can't seem to get Ferdinand. So I don't know who that is, but I think you
It
might.
was me. It was me.
Okay.
He told
Awesome.
me that I
Okay.
was the second. Okay, thank you.
Beautiful, Nina. Go ahead.
Okay, and it's Queen Nina or Queen Mother
Queenie.
Nina.
Okay.
Thank
Queenie.
all right. Let me share my presentation. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Carol. That was a great presentation, very inspirational. And that is, you shared some similar sentiments of my
Oh,
mindset as well. So I appreciate that. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Queen Mother Nina Womack. I'm an African American from Los Angeles, California, and I travel to West Africa every year. So they appointed me as a development queen in Ghana and a high chief in Nigeria. So that's why I use my titles after coming back and receiving that honor in Africa. I too received a mandate with receiving these titles. A development queen is basically someone who is a traditional African leader that's responsible for the socioeconomic development of a community. And because of my love and passion for Africa, I look at that honorary title as a mandate to help develop all of Africa, not just a community in Ghana or Nigeria, but all of Africa. I'm very passionate about. So I have now put forth my efforts to bring in development to better Africa in multiple ways, whether that's through knowledge exchange, between the U.S. and in Africa and the youth in Africa, or contributing to the job sector, the career sector in Africa, or donating, supporting in my own ways. So, what I want to talk about today, because this is something that I'm regularly working on more and more, is working with an intergenerational workforce remotely. And that includes working with different youth and adults and elders in Africa, as well as here in the US. So, I want to talk a little bit about that. That's what my presentation is. I have several companies that I run, but my oldest company is called Transmedia 360, and we are a multimedia agency. We specialize in filmmaking, movies, documentaries. We also are event organizers, and we do branding and consulting. So quite often I work with African organizations, NGOs, as well as here in the U.S to help them with their branding, their messaging, their videography, and so forth. So, for example, last year I was at the end of the year, I was able to produce and direct a music video here in Los Angeles using a remote team in Nigeria. And so we worked together and it came out excellent. The talent in Africa is enormous. And so we should really, as American businesses, as foreign businesses, anywhere around the world, really look at the potential in the African workforce, especially with the youth, because they understand technology so well and can handle a lot of tasks at a high level. So, when managing a global virtual intergenerational team, this is what I would like to discuss. So, the modern workforce today is remote, it's global, and definitely multi generational. Now, this isn't a trend, it's a standard operating model nowadays. So, for organizations, we must implement strategic management practices to harness the full potential of diverse teams spanning from baby boomers to Gen Zs, all across different zones and different cultures. The challenge, so some of the challenges with this is aligning the diverse work styles, the different time zones, the communication preferences, and those can be quite complex. So different generations have conflicting approaches when it comes to technology, to hierarchy, and to collaboration methods. We know that older generations may not be so savvy when it comes to technology. So when you're working with a younger generation and you guys are working on a project together, how can you bridge that gap? How can you support each other with the elders' wisdom as well as with the youth's knowledge of the current technology? So the generational gaps, that causes different communications and work preferences across the age groups. I've noticed with working with African youth is they're on it. They are, so you talk about something and they accomplished it yesterday. They had it done, as opposed to if it's an older person, they may take their time to get the work done. So how do we be patient with each other and understand those differences in the way we work? And then we've got geographic barriers with the time zones and the cultural differences. So, really taking time, like I am a connoisseur, or I would say a lover of various cultures. I love learning about everybody's culture, especially the African culture. I take my time to learn Latino culture, you name it. So let's take time to just research and get to know about those cultural differences or what we have in common, because that just helps our relationship, our work relationships, and our friendships, the more that we know about and understand each other's cultures. And then we've got the digital divides, the different comfort levels of technology. And so the opportunity here is unprecedented access to global talent of all ages and diverse market insights. And when you can manage this effectively, this diversity will drive innovation and bridge critical skills gaps to your company. I've done a lot of research on diverse work teams and how, like, with not to criticize, but with Warren Buffett's organizations, his companies, for example, he's been criticized in the public media by having a very monogamous workforce team. Everybody is older. They're mostly all white males, and that was his board. And so, after the public and his shareholders were complaining, then he started to add a little bit more diversity, but it's not a lot of young people in his on his board. Um, so some three key practices is to transform complexity into competitive advantage through strategic management approaches that honor this diversity while driving results. So that one practice can be to cultivate inclusive communication protocols. So establish clear communication strategies that work across different generations and time zones. What kind of tools are easiest for this population or that population? Maybe this one is used to email, this one prefers WhatsApp, text messages or whatever. So we have to be inclusive with all generations and to focus on performance, not just presence. So let's implement an outcome-based management with standardized KPIs and OKRs, and those are objectives. So also design a cross-generational collaboration. Let's create structured opportunities for knowledge transfer and diverse perspective integration. The communication gap challenge. So one size fits all communication strategy fails when managing diverse teams. Older generations prefer scheduled calls and formal emails, while younger generations lean towards instant messages and asynchronous updates. And then global time zones add time zone complexity to this mix. So whenever I schedule a virtual meeting, I have to make sure that I look up as many people's time zones as possible and try to be inclusive of that, because some people just don't want to take time to Google what time zone they're in, so make it very easy for them to get the message. The asynchronous mandate. Establish clear rules for when to use each communication tool. So mandate tools that allow for asynchronous updates to global time zones and differing work styles from early birds to night owls. So email protocol is good for official decisions, for formal announcements and documentation requiring approval chains. Just sending messages on WhatsApp for everybody is not going to work when you're managing a remote team. And then use instant messaging for your quick questions and your informal check-ins and time-sensitive coordination. And then look for some good project management software that can act as a central hub to give project status updates and deliverables and to promote this cross-team collaboration. The digital tone and global etiquette. So address digital misunderstandings and global etiquette challenges. Train teams on clear, concise writing when respecting cultural nuances like directness levels and emoji uses. This reduces conflict across generational and geographic divides. Also, let's have clear communication with precision and context to avoid misinterpretation across cultures and generations. And then cultural sensitivity, what I mentioned before, understanding directness, preferences, and communication styles across different regions. Like, for example, in Ghana, in West Africa, they are very big on royal titles, educational titles, and so forth. So I will frequently correct people, like especially in America, that I'm Queen Mother Nina or Queen Nina, just to get them used to, because if they deal with someone in Africa who's a chief or a queen or a king and call them, oh yes, Ed, that can offend that person. So just knowing being culturally sensitive to the way people introduce themselves or ask to be addressed and different things like that. Digital etiquette. Establish guidelines for professional emoji use and tone in digital communication. And then we want to focus on performance and not presence. So in virtual settings, managers must overcome the urge to micromanage hours and focus more on measurable outcomes. And this is critical when dealing with employees new to remote work and younger generations who expect that flexibility. Here's some standardized OKRs and KPIs. Implement universal, clearly defined objectives and key results or key performance indicators that apply across all roles, regardless of age, location, or work schedule. And this ensures fairness and transparency. So let's have it standardized. And then cross-cultural, cross-generational projects. Create project teams specifically designed to mix diverse ages and global locations. Again, that diversity. Task them with solving global problems that naturally blend institutional wisdom and digital savviness and emerging market knowledge. So our team formation should mix generations, knowledge transfer that's going to enhance company results, and the way that people solve problems, this diversity in ages and across the globes and so forth, everybody has ideas to add to solutions. So your systems must be as flexible as your talent. Managing a remote, global, intergenerational team isn't about fixing people, it's about optimizing the systems that they work within. And success comes from inclusive communication protocols, performance based management, and structured cross generational collaboration. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Wow, so insightful. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I had to fix my system, but then I couldn't get it done again, so I had to use my phone to join. Thank you, Queen Nina, for sharing your insightful presentation. Yes, clear communication is very important. Yes, it's very important because when we don't get the information clearly, we don't get to use the right emojis, because most times the Gen Zs, if they don't get the digital etiquette, they may use the wrong emojis to signify something else that could be misrepresented by the elderly person. So it's very important that all these policies are put in place. Some of these things are taught so that we don't use the wrong things to represent our intentions wrongly. So thank you so much for sharing that wonderful insight with us. I want to call our third speaker, Mr. Timothy Hughes. Yeah, Mr. Timothy Hughes is the founder of the Kijani Foundation in New York. Thank you so much. He's doing an amazing job. He's really doing an amazing job. He's a land surveyor. You will be taking us on the strategies for effective intergenerational collaboration. You'll be taking us on the strategies for effective intergenerational collaboration. Mr. Timothy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for the nice introduction, Ambassador. It's truly an honor. Thank you so much. Queen Mother, you did an outstanding job in your previous presentation. It's remarkable your mindset and how you can organize such amazing meeting for us all to have better understanding on what it is that we need to do in terms of the finer details, very fine details in your presentation, and I admire that extraordinarily. Extraordinary. Sorry. Anyway, you're welcome. So anyway, bridging the gap, right? That's our topic. And so SDG 17, I believe, is truly how we do that, right? It's collaboration. So we need to collaborate with each other. That's it. And how do we collaborate? I believe that collaboration takes getting to know one another. This is a team building exercise right now. As a matter of fact, we're getting to know each other and how our minds think and building each other up, encouraging each other. It's a great time right now to be a part of this entire movement. It's not, I don't even know what you call it. It's larger than that. It's not just a movement. It's global change. Global. It's universal. It affects a lot of things, and it's incredible to be a part of this. And that's my belief is we need to get to know each other. And this is going to be my little bit of a presentation, a little bit of an autobiography on who I am, so that we can get to know each other on a deeper level and collaborate so that we can make these big changes. We have 2030 right around the corner. And so I truly believe that making big impact is how we do it. How else are we going to do it? We can't just keep doing these little, not to take away from anybody's projects by any means, because it takes great collaboration, but we do need to make big impact on training people and teaching about these sustainable development goals, because a lot of the world doesn't understand what we represent. So how do we do that? And we have to really make change by our relationships with one another first and foremost. being on the same page, collaborating, bridging the gap between, the old and the young. But that's not even an issue. That's a dividing line that we have in our own minds because we're just all humans and we care about each other. And that's my big push is helpers helping helpers. That's how we're going to change big things. We have to know who the helpers are. It's going to take a lot of different understanding in this endeavor. So I'm going to start out by just saying my name's Timothy Hurd. I'm the founder of Kajani Foundation. At the current present time, we're still working on names. We're still working on becoming registered in Nigeria. Thank you, Duyum, and the rest of the team for all your hard work. You're doing an amazing job. I could cry right now. Thank you, guys. Love you. We're doing good things. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to give a little bit of a history of who I am. So, I was born into a military family. We moved around a lot. I've experienced lots of different culture in my life. Um, I have pretty good understanding of the injustice of the world. I've seen it. I've experienced it. Um, like I said, growing up in different cultures, sometimes, and being the new kid, you stick out. So I learned how to fit in and I understand people's struggles. And, through all those, my upbringing, going from community to community, learning new people, groups, um, you know, I'm thankful for that. I have pretty good perspective from those experiences. So I'm going to jump up a little bit. I spent some time in my young professional years as I started out right out of high school. I worked for a developer. He was a distant relative of mine, and he had a development company, and I worked as a laborer building infrastructure. It was an amazing experience. I loved the action. I loved being like 20 feet below the surface of the earth, seeing the lines of clay and like just the thrill of it all. Big heavy equipment around, digging. Um, so I had that experience, hard work carrying pipes. But in during that time, I took a bit of a break and I went on a Nazarene church mission trip to Grosmorne, Haiti. I spent a month in Haiti. Um, I worked with the old man. He was probably 80, but very strong old man. He's a bricklayer in Canada. Him and I lived in this little village of Grosmorne, and we worked together to build a school with the natives. We went down to the river to get the water for everything. Um, 5-gallon buckets. We employed kids to carry the buckets to help build the school. Uh, I experienced life there the way that the indigenous people do still currently. That's where we need to take action now. How is this still possible? After a quarter of a lifetime, nothing's changed. From there, I spent a little bit of time in Belize on a trip, learned additional skills in relationships with indigenous people. My heart grew. my family eventually moved back to Flint, Michigan. Well, actually, that was around the time when I did all those trips, but that's when we relocated back to Michigan, Flint, Michigan, which has some major issues also, inner city, problems, slums and poverty. So I worked at a homeless shelter there. It's called Carriage Town Ministries. I started out as a maintenance man and, eventually worked into a mentoring program where I helped, ex-convicts and, struggling people, even people hiding out from the police because they did something wrong. I dealt with everyone, and I learned a lot about perspective. What's it like to be incarcerated? What's it like to see somebody get killed right before your eyes? Lots of different things. So Flint, Michigan is near and dear to my heart. So I'd like eventually to develop sister cities or peace cities with Flint, Michigan, and some African nations, so we can discuss some things virtually. It's going to be a cool network. We're excited about that. So I'm jumping forward. I'm just trying to. That's a little rabbit hole. All right, I go on little tangents here and there, but I'll get back to the main point. All right. This is being recorded, so I think we'll have some good notes after it's all said and done. I'm just speaking from my heart. So, things got rough in Flint, Michigan, and the economy. We all know about the U.S. economy in 2007, 2008. The housing market crashed, and Michigan was right at the ground zero of it all. The automotive industry collapsed, everybody filed bankruptcy, and that was our economy there. And so all the projects that I'd worked on as a land surveyor, people were threatening to kill other people because they weren't paying their bills. That's how bad it got. So, times got tough, and, I was doing my thing, trying to be a land surveyor and be a father and work at a homeless shelter as a mentor. I became assistant men's ministry director there. I also developed some programs, the Arrowhead Hiking Club. We raised all of our own funds to go on a backpacking trip from Flint, Michigan, down to the Appalachian Trail down in the Smoky Mountains, North Carolina. We raised everything, boot money. We raised backpacks, everything, food, everything. We got funded to for gas and food and hotel accommodations for the trip down. We adopted a highway, a section in Flint, Michigan, to clean up trash and recyclables off the side of the road. We recycled cans and bottles and metal and other various things that we found as we cleaned up the highway, and we used that to also fund our programs. During that time, we also developed a program, Adopt a Forest program. I can send you a map of that exact location if you like. I don't have that prepared for presentation. I'm just winging it. But it was nice. A lot of people, you know, people that didn't know purpose in life, that just love to feel loved. That's it. That's the bottom line. And, no matter who you are, if you killed somebody or whatever, you just, one of my mentees, I'm not going to say his name, but he put his coworker. He was on a tree crew, and they were fighting, and he threw him into a chipper shredder and shredded his coworker's body. And he spent 20 years in prison for manslaughter. And I love the guy still to this day. He felt sorry for what he had done, and he was in his youth. So, we're bridging the gap between, we're humanity. We're not just youth and seniors. It's not that. It's at an early age, we can teach our babies. I taught my daughter how to say cyclamen when she was, that's one of her first words. It's a type of flower, a flowering plant, cyclamen. Look it up. Beautiful plant. I taught her. So the human mind is more of a sponge. We need to invest in the lives of the youth, yeah, and teach, of course, but there doesn't need to be a dividing line. It's just humans like learning from each other. That's what we're all about, right? Getting rid of the you're this and I'm that. We're just people trying to make a difference, and the helpers need to unite no matter who you are. So that's another rant. It's okay though, right? I have to use up some time, so I'm teaching you a little bit about who I am, and I look forward to meeting all of you, um, in the future while we collaborate and make big impact. So, with that said, now how do we make big impact? I believe big projects. So, one of the projects that Kajani is working on is decarbonization of the Edmondson Scott South Pole Station. I believe that we can use this project with an alternative energy source such as uh, reactors, nuclear micro reactors, in conjunction with steam energy, which will in turn turn the turbines that turn the generators that produce electricity for the entire South Pole station. I believe that we can develop some other facilities within the United Nations on that same area. You can't call it land, the area of ice. It's 9,000 feet of ice. So it's take a lot of engineering, and we'll need uh, we'll need some companies to partner with us to help make this project happen, in order to not only decarbonize the South Pole, but to also provide clean energy sources to remote places that need clean energy sources. And it takes a lot from administration, human resources, engineering. Everything. It takes everything. Government. So it takes, especially since we're talking about, collaboration. We're going to need to collaborate with the United Nations University on this and develop a workforce development program. Because once we build these things, we're going to have the workforce to maintain um, the projects that we're doing. We need teachers. We need workers. We need lots of things. I think food scarcity, food security, these things are big issues, and I think we have the energy solutions to help to make perfect growing conditions for food in places that need it the most. It's going to take a lot of collaboration. I don't know how to do it all, especially when we're talking about different languages, and so we're going to need translators. It's a big program, but we have a great team in order to make this all happen. Dialogue that I'm spilling out from all the hard work that my team and I have been working on over the course of literally 3.5, maybe 4 years now. Great concepts on how we can help many, have equal opportunities. Reach for the sky. The stars. Do whatever you want in life if that's what you want. But always have the opportunity to be able to for those dreams. It's my heart to think about some of the images that I've seen of little children starving and dying. Um, uh, in their way of life. It's difficult, um, to think that it's still this way, and how do we? It's a problem, right? We have for 18. I'm looking to the United Nations be one of the 18 Sustainable Development Goals to feel loved and appreciated. Everybody should have the right. It's a basic human right to feel loved and appreciated. If you're not afforded that in life, then something's wrong. need to feel loved and appreciated. So said, yeah. So we have a lot of things happening. The Operation Green Ice program. That's the project that's gonna bring everybody together. I believe unite. Antarctica is reserved for science and peace, and that's what the Antarctic Treaty is all about. Unfortunately, there's many underdeveloped countries um, that never even got the opportunity to sign something so significant, and it always made me wonder why. Why is that? Why didn't Haiti get to sign the treaty? Were they asked? I don't know. But I'm asking to have every recognized country in the United Nations to be on the Antarctic Treaty so that we collaborate and learn. I'm taking that's my agenda. But like I said, with a project like that, now we have a team. We have all the resources. We have companies working together. Let's use that in partnership with already existing programs and you know, helpers doing things around the world that already have things established, but we can part as well and learn and help make things even better, faster by partnering with ours. And one of my big things is the 4-H program here in the United States. I forget exactly. I don't want to misquote, but we have a lot of counties in every state, and then we have 50 states here in the United States. And so every county, I believe, has a 4-H program. It's all about agriculture. So I think in collaboration with them, we can learn about farming and how people farm in indigenous places and what's the best approach on, conservation and how to do things the best way. We can get the agriculture involved. Uh, there's many grants out for this type of work, through so many different agriculture businesses that we can get lots of grants. So we're going to need a lot of grant writers on our teams, which reminds me also of lawyers to defend us if the need be and help us to organize even better in the proper legal. So I know I'm saying a lot. Is everything okay? You guys want to take a break? Hello, did anybody hear
I
me?
think, yeah, Timothy, I think there is another speaker.
Oh,
So,
okay. My
and I have
apologies.
stuff I have to do. I have some other errands. So
Yeah,
if we
so
could,
that's kind of like my presentation, like
okay,
just
great.
speaking from my heart, just giving you a little bit of an idea of what it is that we're working on. I appreciate your time. I love everyone that's here. You guys are remarkable. Thank you for the collaboration, and I look forward to meeting you in person someday, hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I felt your heart. Thank you so much. You're very kind. Lady B, I think you're up next.
Hi, good afternoon. Am I next? I don't know if I could follow Tim.
You are.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Tim, thank you so much for your presentation. It was absolutely emotional. I had to turn my camera off for a minute to fix my face. I feel your pain and I feel your struggles and I feel your dedication also. So definitely it was a wonderful presentation. And I'm very interested in learning more about what you're doing and some of the changes in the programs that you're trying to implement. Um, I'm Lady Be Blessed. Some people here know me already, and some people do not. I'm just going to do a brief introduction about who I am and what I do. Tim still got me a little choked up. So excuse that. I'm a humanitarian. I'm an award-winning humanitarian. I'm also an energy advocate and also a business consultant. My passion spans through energy, oil and gas, all the way to the humanitarian aspects of was I born in Africa? I was born in Guyana, South America, but Africa was born in me. So I always say that I am African first, be it an African Caribbean or someone that has African descent. So with that saying, I advocate for energy poverty through Africa and the Caribbean with the goal of bringing 1 million family out of energy poverty by the year 2035. It's an ambitious goal, but hopefully it's one that we could achieve. I'm the co-founder and co-chair of the African and Caribbean Energy Network. And I'm also the former marketing director of the African Gas Association. I use those platforms to drive energy solutions. I'm also the executive director of the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation. We have worked in Ghana, we have worked across Nigeria. We deliver education, healthcare, and we empower those in the most valuable community. I'm also a business consultant at Eudora Lane Consultant, where I provide business solutions for people that want to own, run, or scale their business. And also, I'm an advocate for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So, Tim, definitely, I am for goal number 18, to feel love and appreciated. Anyway, I am here to talk, I think, about bridging the gap between intergenerational collaboration and give a success story. And I am going to give a success story today of a young lady that I mentor. Her name is Elizabeth. So it's an honor, first of all, to be part of this great collaboration that we have going here and to meet everyone that I've met today. Like I say, some I've known and some I do not know, but everyone here is distinguished and it's my honor to be there. I'm going to give a story of a young lady that I met 11 years ago that lived in Ghana. So she was so passionate, she was so driven, and she wanted so much to learn. Although I lived in the US and she lived in Ghana, I decided to mentor her. And during the mentorship, our bond grew very fast. So in 2023, she was able to obtain a visa to also come to the US, and we were able to meet for the first time. So it's been like about 10 years I was mentoring her. So now she's become like a daughter to me. We faced a lot of challenges with her upbringing, because there's a mindset in Ghana about different things about what girls shouldn't do or what a girl should do. But Elizabeth flew all the way from Ghana to the US so she could overcome a lot of challenges that was put in her way. Her journey is an interesting one. So every challenge she did it with a courageous heart. She has an open mind. She listens, she learns, but above all, she leads with humility, preservation, and she has this unwavering integrity that I'm so proud of. Every time I talk to her or I think about her, I said, wow, she's really, really driven. Our collaboration didn't just start or stop as a professional collaboration. It grew very, very close. She also was the general manager of my foundation, the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation. And today she has the head of program for emerging public leaders in Ghana, where she shapes the program, she shapes fellowships, and she builds the pathway for the next generation of public service leaders in Ghana. So her tireless effort has fostered gender equality, inclusiveness, and innovation across Ghana public sector. And for that, I'm very, very, very proud of her. Her journey is not her own. She doesn't just keep it to herself. She shares. She's living proof what can happen when we bridge generational gap. I have a friend that calls me BBC. born before computer. So I get a kick out of that because I think my love for young people keeps me in tune with the generation. I don't see it being that much of a gap because I have so many young people around me and I'm always adopting them. They're always, lady be this, lady be that. And I love to hang out with the young people. So yes, I was BBC, born before computer, but still I like to bridge that gap. I like to share my wisdom. I like to share opportunities with the young people. And not only that, I like to bring them along. So intercontinental collaboration, we multiply our impact, right? We break silos, we break cultural norms, right? And we build a legacy and an outlet for these youths that would outlast even me. When I'm gone, these young people will be here and they will say, oh, Lady B did this. I have a young man in Zimbabwe that met me when he was 14 years old. And I think he just turned 26. And he inboxed me, he said, Lady B, when I was 14, I used to tell everybody about this woman, Lady B, Lady B. Now you have elevated me. I have my own business. I do my own company and I speak all across Zimbabwe. So our story, and why I'm saying that, it's a call of action. Let us continue to mentor as people our age. And I'm above 55, born before the computer era. But we still have to reach below our age gap. We still have to reach out to this young generation. So it's a call of action to us to keep supporting, right? Not only do they need mentorship, they need sponsorship. I was able to sponsor a lot of events for Miss Elizabeth for her to go and get the knowledge. We could all say yes, we're gonna mentor, but are we sponsoring them also? Are we coming out our pockets? Are we providing the sponsorship? Are we providing just a little bit? It's not even about a finance, just that support that they would need in order to go and get the experience that they need. So we have to build them up so they could have a brighter future. We have to make sure that they have a more inclusive world around them so they could be great leaders. So we have to remember that every success story that we have with the young people, it brings us closer and it brings them to believe that they could do such more. We are passing the torch. So I strongly, strongly believe in mentoring young people. I'm always proud of her. And there's several young people, I think some have already joined this platform that I've mentored through the past in Nigeria. I always forget his name, but he's here that we've mentored along the past. And I'm glad to see that, they log in. Abdullah. Sorry, I do apologize. I was thinking someone else. I'm looking at the name. Thank you for joining. I'm always proud and I'm always deeply grateful for the gift of the relationship that has grown from a 24-year-old young lady to a 32-year-old woman now in her journey. So I want to say to everyone above my age and in my age group that we should continue to give this gift to the young people. It's a gift. Our mentorship is a gift. Our support is a gift. Right. And we have to keep inspiring each other. The kids are out here doing apps. They're doing Microsoft. They're doing websites. They're doing wonderful things where our generation, we're struggling. Some are even struggling to open an email while the young people could do it. So if you see young people, bring them in, mentor them, ask them, how, not like, what can I do for you? How can you help me? As a young people, I don't mind asking them like how to do this. How do I go about doing this? And they're more than happy to help. They're like, oh, Lady B, don't worry. I'll show you how to do it. Like on the TikTok and all of that. My sons used to be like, Mom, what are you doing on the TikTok? I'm like, I'm TikToking. They're like, what? So they get a kick out of it. So definitely. And Elizabeth is here. I see you. She's right there. Oh, she's my darling. Don't make me cry. Tim already did that. So I'm glad to see her tuning in, and Abdullah is there, and I'm glad to see you guys tuning in. So I generally think that this intergenerational collaboration is something that's well needed. We need it. It's not even something that we should overlook for our age because the population right now is so young. I don't know if I'll be here for 50 years, but they sure will. You understand? So the knowledge and the wisdom that I have, I need to pass it on. I don't want to die and fill up the grave with this knowledge. I want to die empty. All the knowledge I have in me, I want to give. I want to give, and I want to be able to give. And the more young people, the better. And I'm starting a mentorship for young people that want to get into the energy sector. I'm doing that in 2026. I've educated 8,000 young people on the sustainable development goals, and they're doing wonderful in their countries all over the world. So when I 50 years from now, I'm giving myself 50 years, when I'm gone, I want this knowledge to be passed out so I could die empty. I've given it all. And that's all I want to encourage everyone to be able to grab the young people, even if they're stubborn, because some of them are very stubborn. Even if they're stubborn, grab them by the horns, take them in. Someday they just need a hug, love them. SDG number 18, give them that love. Give them your knowledge, give them your understanding. And that's it. I could go on and on and on and on, but I digress. I will stop right there and give the floor back. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you always having me on your discussions.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Salute you,
Thank
Mama.
everyone.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
This is so amazing. Thank
That's
you,
my
everyone.
daughter.
Thank you, Lady B. I really appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, had some disconnections then. Mr. Tim, I am so happy you joined, and thank you for sharing your humanitarian activities. Thank you for being passionate. Thank you for your love for humanity. I felt everything. I was so with what you're sharing. Thank you so much for going through all of that and coming out strong. Thank you so much. This is one of the things that I love so much when people share stories, share what they've gone through, and also having their hearts to give back to the society. It's really amazing. And I want to use this opportunity to appreciate every one of you for your tireless commitment in helping the young generation. Like myself, I've also been in prevalence of some good people around me that have shared their insights and paying mother, your love, your support. I really appreciate. Lady B, I much appreciate your encouragement, your concerns about me. Carol, I really appreciate you all. I really appreciate you all. So this meeting is actually call to action for every young person, also to the elder generation, other persons. Yeah, because this is actually going to bridge lots of gap. We need all people, just like people need our own generation. So if we don't get along, if we don't align these things together, harness our potentials, there will be no sustainable future. So I just want to ask, if I leave now, what will people coming after me? What would they say about me? What kind of legacy did I drop? What did I do for my generation? Am I going to be seen as an icon that should be celebrated? Will I be seen as somebody whose monument will be seen across Africa, globally? What will I be known for? What will I be recognized for? What will I see that I was able to achieve while I was alive, while I was in my youthful age? So it is something that we the young people should take very close to our hearts, to live a life that is harnessed, live a life that the older persons also will be in love with. Like I shared before, I lived for almost 20 years with my grandma. I know how much she feels most times when I come back home and see her. She was like, nobody to talk to. Sometimes she wants to discuss with somebody. She has to call me on phone to say, this is this is that, because they need love. They need to be appreciated. They need care. A lot of our elderly ones, they are living dejected. So many of them wasted their youthful age. A lot of them are feeling dejected at this moment. It's our time as the younger generation to look out for them, ask them how they are feeling, ask them what their problems are. If there is anything we can do for them, we do it for them. They need love. They need care. They need to feel that compassion again. They need to feel that they are also living. So this is why we should celebrate every one of them. Some of them miss their potentials, even the the disabled people around, those who are old. Some of them don't have children, some of them don't have families, they don't have husband. They need this love as well. They need to be accepted. They need to be shown love. So I really appreciate you all. I am so grateful, and I am anticipating to be doing this physically and no longer virtually. We need to look out for those people within our areas. As young people, we need to collaborate, reach out to them, give out assistance, support, whatever we need to do for them. It might not be finance. We can just sit down with them, share their stories, let them share their experiences, let them mentor us, let them share the things they have with us. Because we have lots of old people who are useful in nature. They want to share. Nobody comes around them. They don't have anybody they can share their stories with. They live and live around with their stories. Whatever they want to share, they don't have anybody to share it with. So if we go around them, look at these people, how can we help them? Just listen to them. So many of them just want people that can listen to them. They want to share their stories. They don't want us to go through the path that they went through. They want us as young people. This is just a call for action. Let's reach out to them and celebrate them. And on this note, I want to use this opportunity to celebrate every one of you that have contributed in making the world a better place. From my heart, I am grateful. I love you all. I am reaching out for you. I say, may God keep you all young and alive as well. I am so grateful having you people joining us at this moment. So we have lots of things to do in common. As young people, we need your love, we need your prayers, we need your support, we need your connections. We also need your recommendation. We need you people to strive. So that is why I decided to organize this webinar. Yesterday, I learned that it was actually Boyfriend's Day celebration. When I got to hear about that, I was, can you imagine where we have our old people to celebrate? We need to celebrate these people and make them feel loved, and people are celebrating stuff like this. I was like, it was met all over the internet, but I didn't see that is a note. There was no code, there was no notification that older persons are supposed to be celebrated on the 1st of October. There was no news. I didn't see it on the internet. I was like, wow, bring this thing up. We need to bring it to realistic. The United Nations has actually had that formulated, they've adopted it. But how many persons are practicing it? It has to be pragmatic. It has to be done. We need to appreciate them. So on this note, I am really appreciating you all for sharing your perspective, Mr. Tim. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. I am so happy. Thank you, Lady B, for being so kind to Elizabeth, and thank you also, Elizabeth, for being so teachable. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I am so grateful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We need your support also. We need your recommendation. We need your love and your prayers as well. From my heart, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. So let's give room for questions. Let's give room for contributions, and then we take it from there. Thank you, everyone. So the floor is open now for questions and answers. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Tim. I just wanted to let you know that I'm gonna have to leave the meeting now. So if you do have questions, just forward them to me, Ambassador. I'd be happy to collaborate if anybody out there wants to work with the Kajani family. Yeah, we're still developing, but we need as much help as we can get. So that's that, and you know who to contact. Ambassador Ferdinand, thank you so much. Everyone else, thank you so much. Love you all, and you're much appreciated.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for all your support and being in this really special forum and talking about something so powerful.
So the floor is open for questions.
Well, I don't necessarily have a question, but I do have a comment, and that is from what can you guys hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. From what I've discovered back to different cultural differences and so forth in African culture and in Asian culture. There's a lot more attention paid and respect paid to the elders. They're a part of the community and they value them for their wisdom. Here in America, we've lost that disconnect, and our elders are put in homes and not living in the, with the families and so forth. So I think it's important for us, especially in the US, to maybe adopt some of that and not be so quick to put our elders in separate homes, away from the family, but how can they support the family, the elders inside the home like they do in other cultures? So I just want to make that comment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. Yeah, some of the experiences also we see here in Nigeria during their retirement, when they retire, their family will be somewhere else. Their family, they will just live and leave the old people at home, nobody to take care of them and stuff like that. So most times they live their life in regrets. So many of them live their life in regret. So it's actually something we need to do, support some of these people, like I mentioned before, reach out to them, know how they are feeling, and then it's not their fault. So, and I'm glad some of our youths are beginning to catch up. Some of them are beginning to know that they need the elderly ones also to thrive, so they don't make the same mistakes some of these people have made. So it's not late also for those of them that have missed the opportunity. There is still time for them to catch up as well. So if they don't support, if they don't get that done physically because of old age, because of age differences now, they can also join, they can do something, they can mentor people. So they can also support financially, they can also support by sharing their wisdom, they can also support by mentoring the younger generation. So I solicit on behalf of the younger generation to have you all grab us, call us, just like they shared. Sometimes the youthful exuberance can cause some of us to misbehave and stuff like that. Please, we ask you to show us love and keep showing us love. We need your love. We need your love. We need you to be patient with us as well while we try. Thank you so much.
The more young people I mentor from Africa, like Queen Mother said, I know I'll be well taken care of when I retire in Africa. Any part of it. That's my goal.
I love it.
Amazing, 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 amazing.
It's like I know they will take well care of me.
I know they call me Lady B, they call me mom. The African youth, I said I got a lot of kids. So.
Yes, I tell them all the time, all my kids, yes.
They
don't know. They don't know, wow. Queen. That's our plan.
Right?
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, Joel, go ahead.
How are you?
Good.
Yes, I've been listening to everyone, and by the way, I had the presentation that was given by everyone, Queen Nina and Lady B and Carol and Timothy. I still believe we are lacking something here. I don't know if maybe I didn't hear properly or what. By the way, my name is Tagudisho Joel from South Africa. I am a student at the University of Limpopo. I'm also a founder of 21 Ace Academy, which is a school that we are monitoring via philosophy. I'm also an author of academic papers. I wrote a paper called Gender Inequality, Analysis of Gender in Africa as a colonial legacy in Africa. So my problem is this one. Yeah. When everyone was pitching their speech, like or their presentation, I heard that most of the people in the US, in the UK care more about the Central African and the Northern African. They don't care about the Southern African people. Because when I hear Queen Lady B is almost having 400 mentees that he also mentored. But then none of those ones I heard from South Africa. I only had people from Ghana, Nigeria. Hence, the other day I asked President Emmanuel Ferdinand, because I'm also a member of African Youth Network. I'm a coordinator actually in South Africa. We've been sidelined for a very long time. I've been trying to reach out for these things because when I hear and I connect dots, I can tell that the only tribe that is given too much time and too much effort are those ones in the middle or in the east or up in the Africa. In the Southern Africa, I never. In Zimbabwe, I had Lady B saving one person in Zimbabwe. I never had anyone from Sierra Leone. I never had anyone from Uganda. I never had anyone from Lesotho, Botswana, or anyone from South Africa. Why is that?
Okay, let me just correct something for you. I've worked in Zimbabwe for years, yes, which I consider Southern Africa. I've worked in Uganda, I've worked in Sierra Leone, I've worked all over Africa, east, north, south, or west. We work with those that reach out to us. I've never in my life gotten a South African youth come to me and reach out. If they do, of course, we will work with them. I've worked with 2 doctors in South Africa that was part of my training program that we did on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So when you reach out, this is how we work. I don't know about any other else or anybody else, but you have to reach out. You have to have the ability. A long time I didn't work with them. Nigerians, because Nigerians would tell me, we don't, yeah, I need your help. I said, okay, what for you? He says, I will sponsor it. You see, that is how it works. So I am sure any youth from South Africa would reach out. This is what we, how can we help? How can you help us? We are not selfish people. I am not discriminative. I say Africa. I love all of Africa. I don't even care if you're from north, south, east, west, or wherever, whatever country, if the need is there, I am there. I will present myself if I am able to present it. So I used to do music. So my first thing was artist management for 25 years. I've managed artists from South Africa. I've managed artists from Zimbabwe. I've built two schools in Zimbabwe. I used to pay teacher salary in Zimbabwe. So when we give these brief little, we only have 20 minutes or we only have 15 minutes, we could only give brief descriptions of what we have done. I hope I could speak for everyone. I know Queen Nina is extensive across Africa. I know Carol, we are all over, but when we are speaking, we only have a short period of time, and we apologize for that because we don't want the organizer to say we need to reclaim our time, like they do in Congress. We're going to reclaim our time. So if the need is there and you want to reach out, by all means, I am Lady B Bless across all social media platforms. That is also my website. I am ladybbless.com. We are very, very visible people. So the help is there. Just reach out. Queen Nina is everywhere. You could find her everywhere. She's working with food. She's working with everything, sustainability and everything. Just reach out. That's all it is. I want the organizer to reclaim his time. I said now.
And Joel,
And I would
I'm
like
in
to make a
44 countries in Africa, and I offer scholarships for South Africa for doing my program. So we have many students from South Africa. We're all over the place. So we don't have a certain space area of Africa that we're working in. We're working all over in Africa. So you just didn't hear from all of us around what areas we are in, but we're all over the place in Africa, working with everyone. You want to work with us? Reach out.
And I would like
How
to
how
comment.
how do I reach out? Because
Oh, I put my
somehow
information in the chat.
okay.
My
And I would
information is
also
in
like
the
to
chat.
make a comment to Joel, because I am the senior advisor for African Youth Network, and so I feel like this is important to say out of love. I'm saying this out of love, but as a African diaspora, African American, I notice some things when I travel to Africa or when I interact with some people in Africa, that there's a sense of what we would call tribalism. Like there's this, this country is getting more resources than my country. Like there's a lot of division, and we have to start thinking more unified and in unity and peace and coming together. If you do any kind of research, South Africa has the largest economy in Africa, period. It's the wealthiest country in Africa. So South Africa is not short of anything. Like Lady B said, I'm working with farmers across Africa, in Uganda, in Kenya, in Ghana, in Nigeria. They just happened to appoint me as a royal African leader in Ghana and in Nigeria. But I just was asked a week ago to come to South Africa to be appointed a queen of a community in South Africa. So let's get out of this mindset, please, of because this is several times I've noticed this from you. Why is African Youth Network focused on Nigerians instead of South Africans? That's not the truth, or you wouldn't be in African Youth Network from South Africa if that was true, Joel. So please, I beg you, let's reduce the division and start thinking more one, globally minded. Thank you.
As to add to what you were saying, Queen Nina,
Thank you.
I'm not dividing anyone, or I'm not saying that
That's your observation.
Joe, can you hear me?
yes.
All right, thank you so
Yes.
much. You made your points there and it's been taken care of. So their websites, their handles are already on the chat box. So just reach out, okay? Just
And
reach
share
out.
with your friends.
Reach out. Yeah, thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank you for the amazing job you're doing. I never knew you this powerful. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job for the humanity at large. Thank you. I really appreciate. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so Ferdinand, I have to go. I have another Zoom in about 20 minutes. I just want to let you be aware of that.
Yes, we are right. I was just trying to say that now because I've seen that every of the question here has been taken care of. I really appreciate you all. So on this note, I want to sincerely extend my profound gratitude to every one of you for joining out of your busy schedules to share what you do, to show the younger generation love and your tireless commitment in making sure that we are supported, our voices are amplified. So that is why it is important for some of these meetings to be organized. So I really thank every one of you for joining. And it beats me so much that the younger generations are not even here, you know. We made publicity, we talked about it, but I didn't see many of them are supposed to join. Yeah, but then I am glad the people that have joined have gained so much. It was such an powerful and impactful section. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your perspective,
I see that
your
Kwame
thoughts
in
with
the
us.
chat room. Kwame in the chat room wanted to have a question. His mic was not working. Are you still there? I don't know how much time we have left.
I would like to respect everybody's time, so I would not say anything for now. I mean, if this continues and we are consistent with these meetings, I'll get my chance to put my point across.
All right. Okay. In case you need to reach out to me, let me drop my board so one can connect.
Okay, and I did record this session, guys, so if you have your information in the chat, I will make sure everyone gets the recording. I will be putting it up in YouTube and then I will send out the link so that you guys can all have it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. It was so great meeting every one of you. All the guest speakers were amazing. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Carol.
you
I
so
think
much.
Muhammad had his hand up.
Oh, okay, Mohammed.
Muhammad?
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and thank you very much for accepting me as now this question. I'm Mohammed Hassan Koroma. I'm the founder and director of Youth Agro Life Sierra Leone. Just as my brother was saying, let it be blessed, who I never think or come across, but like for Queen Mother, she's my eye, she's my heart, she's my everything, she's my mentor. Yeah, thank you very much. We've been communicating for the past years now. She and I have been communicating, and even we just talking about another conference coming up that, that she always giving me the responsibility to take some step as a youth. She happy. I'm really grateful to her. I'm grateful with her putting these things in place. And I wish and pray that youth agro lives we can work on the tradition and culture, the young folks, the old folks. I really want to see how best we can work together to put things in place. Youth agro life is not only about agriculture. We are not only about human rights, but we are also into human development. We talk about the kids, the education. No, we have a lot of programs in Agro Life. So I will share some of my program with Queen Mother, and Queen Mother will bring it to you people and see how best maybe we can work together and see how best we can go further. Thank you very much again. I'm Mohamed Hassan Koruma, founder and director of Youth Agro Life, Sierra Leone, West Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Muhammad.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. It was really an amazing section. I'm so happy for everything you've done for me. I'm so happy from my heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Abdullah has his hands up. Every time. Abdullah?
Yes, hello. Hello, can you all hear me?
Of course, yes, yes.
Yeah, I am Ambassador Abdullah Abubakar from Nigeria. I'm CEO, Dakani Development Foundation, and also the Nigerian country rep for African Youth Union Commission, AYUC. I had wanted throwing up my shout out, but I think I had issues with my network down here. So I am super excited to be to be present in this session. It was indeed a wonderful one, and in fact, an impactful one for that matter. More so that I have my mentor here present, sharing her impactful messages. Of course, like she said, and rightly as I pointed, I am a proud mentee of Lady B Bless. Of course, she had personally sponsored a couple of projects I handled down here in Nigeria. Of course, we reach out to communities that have been annually flooded and a host of other projects that have actually made impact. So I truly want to use this medium to appreciate Lady B Bless for her wonderful work. A lot of work she has been doing down here in West Africa. And of course, the present crusade she's pushing down here in Africa, talking about the African Caribbean energy work, that of course I know it's really going to be make a lot of impact, especially in my side of country. Because I say a big thank you to her and to all of you for your various impact in West Africa.
the African continent at large. I truly appreciate you, and I wish such a session, we'll be able to attend the next time. So I say thank you and God bless all of you.
All right, all right. Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Okay, I think we have come to the end of the section. Thank you, Mom Carol. Thank you, Lady B. Thank you, Queen Nina. Thank you, Mr. Timothy. Thank you, everyone. Uma, I see you. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Everyone, thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.